A V12. Motordyne, you've lost your mind. What are you thinking, a V12 and a G35? Hear me out. I've always wanted a V12, just for the sound. So the two cars before I ever got the Lincoln, was an S65 or a Aston Martin DB9. And the reason I wanted them is because they had a V12, right? So you guys probably already seen the video, the Mazda RX-7, which they went ahead and it's the M120 engine. Let me jump on this old girl, get a little exhaust. So the M120 engine is the same engine they use in the Pagani Zonda. And yes, the M120 engine only made like 500 horsepower, basically, or 450, and there's really no aftermarket parts for it. But here's the difference. Those V12 engines were top of the line engines, right? So when they made the V12, yeah, Boston Terrier. So when they made the V12 was their top of the line engine, right? So it was actually hella reliable. And now that you're seeing the swaps come, I'm not doing the V12 because no one else has done it. I'm doing the V12 because I like the harmonics. And I've always been all about the sound. That's why I haven't changed anything about this. I mean, this sounds amazing. You know what I mean? Like, how you gonna beat that? So, to me, a turbo always ruins the sound, all right? And it's not even that. Everybody, okay, let me put it this way. Everyone I know that has a turbo, it's like everyone that buys a street bike. I grew up with motorcycles, right? Or dirt bikes. As soon as you wreck a dirt bike, it's not a big deal. You wreck it on the ground, you're riding a wheelie, you just throw it down like this and you fall off the back. It's not a big deal. Every single person I know that ended up getting a street bike, all of them, let me shift this in right gear here. All of them have wrecked and ripped all their skin off on concrete. So yeah, my brother has a street bike. He has an R1 and I've ridden it. There's been a couple times it's very dangerous where even I came close to wrecking. So what's my point with turbos? Everyone with a turbo ends up blowing up the engine. Your fuel map doesn't work. It ends up getting too much air and not enough fuel, and the engine pre-detonates. And turbos, it's just not a linear power force. And these engines were never designed for that. So an RB26, yes, we all know Fresh Kicks has done it. Or a 2JZ, it's already been done. It's not about that. I just want good NA sound. Ooh. So they're setting off car alarms. See, now that's just a VQ V6 setting off car alarms. So I want the V12 because after watching that, I've always wanted the V12. And the M120, it's from the 90s. So the engine's actually, shush, radar detector. Oh man, them car alarms going off. They're scary, huh? So the M112 is the exact engine they used in the Pagani Zonda. But Pagani himself, they modified it. They put better cams in it, a whole bunch of stuff to make it sound the way it does, and get it up to the 800 horsepower that it comes with in the final stages. So apparently this Mazda RX-7 that they dropped in with the M120 engine in it, as soon as I heard them say they're using a CD009 transmission.
GT transmission, we're actually using a bell housing off a CD009. So we developed the adapter plate to go to that since they already had the bell housing developed.
I was like, no way, yes. So they're already gonna be making the adapter plate, which I already have a CD009 transmission. So if they already make the adapter plate for it, all I gotta do is figure out how to fit that V12 in this Jeep.
This could be used for pretty much any car that can fit the motor, right?
And once I figure out how to fit that V12 in here, I'll have the V12 I've always wanted. And a V12, they just will not be making them anymore. So I'll keep this car forever like I always intended to. But if I have a V12 in it, I'll really be keeping it forever. Because it'll just be like something you've never heard before. You know what I mean?